Hello, good morning and welcome. This is forexforsteadyprofit.com. I've been asked by Felicity, one of my subscribers, to explain the ratios and also the divergence on the commitment of traders. So I'll go ahead and get that sorted. Just have a look at the commitment of traders chart. Right, so this is the commitment of traders report in its raw form. This comes out barring bank holidays and other things that sometimes catch me out. It's out every week on a Friday about 8:30 GMT, and it shows the positions taken by some of the best traders in the world, and it gives a real insight to their thoughts on the market and their fundamental analysis. Right, so if we look here, this is the Swiss franc, and you get the non-commercials, which are speculators, and then the people I'm interested in are the commercials. And I look at their positions, and I also like to plot them on a graph against the non-commercials because I'm looking for a divergence between the two, where the commercials will be either heavily long or short, and the speculators will be exactly the opposite way round. So if you look at the long position and the short position, there is a ratio between longs to shorts. And in this case, the Swiss franc, on the commercials, they have a long ratio of just over 7-1. So for every 7 contracts they've got out long, they will have 1 contract short. Diversely, on the other side, the non-commercials, the speculators, they have more short contracts than they do long. So there is a divergence between the two, and we will have a look now on the graph to see how that pans out. Okay, so this is the Swiss franc, and this is a graph of the commercials, which are in red, and the speculators, which are in green. And as you see here on the graph, the commercials and the speculators have taken directly opposite positions. And as you can see, the commercials are an extreme. They're an extreme long position. Now, the positions taken by the commercials, if you have 7 positions long and 1 position short, so there are 7 times as many speculators long as there are shorts, that gives you a 7-1 ratio of longs against shorts. And for the speculators, they have it's about 3-1. So for every 3 contracts they have short, they have 1 contract long. And if you follow the commercials at the moment on the Swiss franc here, this is an extreme bullish position that we have. So if you go back and you have a look at past bullish positions, they've led to these nice moves up. And this one here, nice move up. So by using the commitment of traders report and plotting the positions on the graph, you can get a picture of where positions were historically, and also the consequences of a move by the commercials, long or short. And this gives us a really good indication of what to expect. So now we'll go and have a look at a different chart. This is a divergence calculator. This is available in my members center. Okay, so here we have a divergence calculator. So you can take a currency like the Swiss franc, and you can put in the long and the short positions. These are for the non-commercials, and you get a ratio of 2.72-1 short. And then you do the same for the commercials, and you get a ratio of 7.17 long, which gives you an overall divergence between the two of 9.89, a divergence of 9.89 long. Now that is the most long currency actually on the divergence this week. And if you put that against a currency that is basically short, like the Canadian dollar, as it's got a short divergence at 8.82, that gives you, let me just see, Swiss franc, Canadian dollar, Swiss franc has got a short divergence of 15.71. So that's an extreme divergence. So by looking at the pairs like this, you can get a much higher probability trade than you could if you were just using the straight currencies. And I do prefer the crosses. The last 3 months they have given much better opportunities, and this is what I've been using in my members centre the last, as I say, 3 months. Okay, well, I hope that has helped a little bit. And you know, when I come to use the candle charts, and you see my commercials ratio and my speculators ratio, you can understand kind of where they've come from. And the other thing to watch, of course, is open interest. You know, just before a currency, if it's overstretched and it's going to fall, open interest often dips, or if it's oversold and you're looking for it to go back up, open interest often goes up just before the rally. So that is another thing to look for. And hope you enjoyed that, and we'll get on with the report for today. Okay, thank you. Cheers. Hello, bye. Good morning and welcome. It's Thursday, the 7th of December, and it's just after 9 o'clock. And we've seen some really nice moves over the last couple of days. The Australian dollar has come down quite nicely for us. We've now got one trade in profit and another one about at entry, but we are down on a little bit of support at the moment. It's had a couple of attempts at popping through. We'll leave that a few days, and I think you'll find that we'll break down a bit further. We're nicely down on the RSI. We're approaching the 30.9, and we are pointing down. We have a commercial short ratio of 2.17 to 1, but I think that's going to be increased with the commitment to traders tomorrow night. So we'll see where that goes, but I've got my money on it short. The pound US dollar just coming slightly into profit on this. We have a commercial short ratio of 1.19 to 1, which, as I showed you yesterday, that is on a percentage change figure. That is a very bearish stance for the commercials. I'm expecting a fall down to the 129 figure, and as we come down, I will be adding to my shorts. So we'll see where that goes. Nice fall off in the euro US dollar. We've come down nicely off the highs. I've got a couple of larger than normal trades at the top that are in profit with a stop on them. And I'm expecting to see more downside on this pair. We're just a tad below the 50. So I'm just hoping it's going to break nicely through short rather than just bounce up off that. But again, on percentage change, the commercials are very bearish of the euro. I think it's the most bearish for about 5 years. So we'll see where that goes to. But you know, I do believe this is going down. USD JPY. I've got another trade I've just put in at entry. So we're at about 112.666. Something spooky with that figure, but we got a commercial short ratio of 3.75 to 1. That's long the Japanese yen, short the pair. So I think by the time we see the commitment of traders report, which we're on Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, so we would have been about here at the night, about 112, I think they will have increased considerably their short position for this pair long the Japanese yen. Um, we've actually just bounced off the 50. I've put a trend line up. We've cut through the trend line. I've put another trade in. We'll see where it goes, but you know, I am a long-term bear of this pair. USD CAD. We've come nicely up off the bottom here. We had a good opportunity. We had a lot of good news out for the employment figures for Canada. So this, as I said at the time, was a good buying opportunity. I've got a couple of trades in profit. I've put my stop in. So I added the second one. So that's doing nicely for us. We've bounced nicely up through the 50. I think we're going to see a lot more strength in this pair. So that's where I'm fixed with that. USD Swiss franc. We have got a short ratio of 7.17 to 1. I'm starting to see weakness in this. I might even put a small trade in short. I much prefer it on the crosses. The same with the Japanese yen, really. But we'll see where this goes. It's come up over the 50. I think it's going to start showing weakness, and I might just put a small trade in short on that. Now, this is the one. This is the New Zealand dollar, US dollar, and I'm out of this. I think long term, I am so bearish of it. I'm bullish the dollar, and I'm bearish the New Zealand dollar because it's a commodity currency. But at the moment, we've got the commercials, a fairly bullish position they've taken on the charts, and we are down onto quite heavy support. We've got a divergence on the RSI where the candles have made a lower low across here, but the RSI has gone from a very negative position to just about the 30.9. So that is showing a sentiment to the upside. But if we put our lines in here and we make a triangle, we actually cross over in the southern side of the RSI. So I'm thinking this is going to break down, but I just don't feel confident in trading it. So the commercials are telling me it's going to long, but you know, I'm keeping out of it. Silver, this has come down really nicely. You get this quite a lot on silver. It seems to make these nice smooth moves when it goes. I mean, even this one back, oh, you can't see most of that, but you know, it's a nice smooth move down. I've got about 3 trades in short now with a stop on them. I'm going to lower these stops down a bit. So that is really nice. It's come below the 30.9. If it holds below 30.9, it's just going to continue going down. So that's the way I see it. I'm just coming into profit on my last trade. So that has been very nice. Not as nice as the platinum trade, but you know, it's still a really nice trade. So we'll see where that goes, but I see a bit more downside for that. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully see you again tomorrow.